Information is power. It can destroy your enemy, or it can destroy you. One mention of a childhood trip, and suddenly you're the group's designated lumberjack. This wood is terrible. My dad probably just bought his firewood anyway. But honestly, being alone isn't bad. It's a nice break from Hannah's friends. Being the new guy is always a bit awkward. Who the hell set up this tent? Tyler is already losing it. The peace didn't last long. David is already making excuses. He was busy with Izzy, so the tent is a disaster. Hannah is trying to keep the peace. Maybe a brownie will stop Tyler from screaming. It didn't work. Tyler is convinced the whole trip is ruined. We're behind schedule. But Hannah has a plan. She knows Zach can handle the heavy lifting. He's the expert here. Zach doesn't mind helping. He's used to this. Camping was always a big family thing. He's almost finished, but Tyler isn't satisfied. He's got a new job for the hatchet man. Go get more wood. The work never ends. Tyler is trying to backtrack now. He realizes he's asking for way too much. It's only one night. Zach doesn't argue. He just agrees and heads back into the shadows of the trees. Tyler can't shake the feeling Zach is off. He tells Hannah her boyfriend is way too intense. Hannah just laughs. She knows Zach better than anyone else. That's just who he is. Deep in the woods, the silence is better. Zach gathers what he can find on the ground. He's gone far enough. Time to head back before they start wondering where the hatchet man went. One last branch, and he's done. But the piece out here is addictive. One step was all it took to change everything forever. The forest is gone. Zach is standing in the middle of nowhere. Or maybe it's everywhere. What the hell? Nothing makes sense. The trees, the wood, the camping trip, it all just vanished. What is going on? Then, the silence breaks. A cold, digital voice flickers into existence. Initiating system. Welcome to the multiverse. The real game has finally begun. The multiverse. Zach thinks he's dreaming. Maybe he just stayed in the sun too long. But the screen in front of him is real. Earth is being scanned, and the results are bad. Apparently, our planet is too small and weak. The solution: merge it with others. The world is being rewritten right now. New land, new monsters, and a whole new system. Zach is still hoping this is just a bad trip from those brownies Izzy made. He calls for Hannah. He calls for David. But there's no answer in this empty void. Then, the system glitches. Something is coming, and it's trying to spawn right on top of him. It's a fatal error. The Herald is here. Zach has one choice. You must roll. Roll for survival. Zach doesn't understand. Survival against what? The answer appears right behind him. A massive, red nightmare called Arcus. This is the Herald, and he's not here to talk. He's here to end this. The system lays out the cold, hard facts. The power gap between them is a joke. Zach gets a roll from 1 to 100. The monster gets 100,000. It's not a fight. It's a slaughter. Whoever rolls the lowest is getting eradicated. Zach is looking at the worst odds in human history. Time to roll. What the hell are these insane odds? Zach isn't playing along. He refuses to roll. But the system doesn't care about his opinion. It only hears one word. Roll. Command accepted. Wait, what? Zach didn't agree to this. He was literally saying no. But the digital gears are already turning. The slots are spinning. His life is on the line. Zach tries to stop it. He's punching the air, screaming for a cancel. Stop the damned roll. This isn't a game. This isn't funny anymore. But the system is cold. It doesn't have a stop button. The numbers blur. The tension is peaking. Zach can only watch. Then, the sound hits. Ding. The roll is over. His fate is sealed. What did he get? 96 out of 100. That's a miracle. Almost a perfect score. But Zach isn't cheering. He knows the math. A 96 is nothing against 100,000. Now it's the monster's turn. The Herald is rolling. The digital slots are blurring into a death sentence. Zach realizes this is it. No more chances. No more world. Just a rigged game. The monster's numbers are still spinning. How high will they go? Zach is out of time. He thinks of his dad. He thinks of Mackenzie. He never got to say a real goodbye. He was a gamer, a distracted older brother, and now he'll never get to make it right. Zach looks at the numbers. He wonders about the camp. Will they even notice that he's gone? Back there, life is normal. People are sitting by the fire. But here, Zach is facing the end of everything. He's about to die, not in a fair fight, but because of a stupid digital dice roll. The monster is right there, jaws open, ready to erase him. It feels like it's over. But then, something shifts. Screw the numbers, screw the system. Zach grips his weapon. He doesn't care about the math anymore. He doesn't care about odds. Probability says he's dead. Zack says he's not going down like this. The roll isn't over yet. Give me a chance. Just one. Zack is pleading with the universe. Congratulations. Zack stands there, completely frozen. He won. His 96 actually beat the beast. The math was impossible, but the result is real. Then, the sound hits. Ding. The monster's roll finally stops. 91. Out of 100,000. It rolled a 91. The system flashes green. Arcus is losing it. A deafening roar shakes the entire void. It can't believe it. But it's too late. Rerolls are unavailable. The game is over. Zack just did the impossible. The dice are set. The result is final. And the universe just made its choice. A surge of energy tears through the void. It's not just light. It's raw, cosmic power. Zack is at the center. The energy is flooding in. It's rewriting his DNA. It's making him more. The system confirms it. Warhouse is gone. Vanquished. Erased from existence. Zack is coming back. The protocol is resuming. He's being pulled out of the darkness. But he isn't the same. The notifications are screaming. Level up. Level up. It's a total jackpot. He didn't just survive. He's becoming a monster in his own right. The chaos is over. The void is gone. Zack hits the ground in a silent forest. He wakes up slow. His head is spinning. What was that? Was it all a dream? He checks his chest. He's still breathing. He's still whole. But something is wrong. He needs to move. He needs to get back to the camp, to the people he knows. But as he stands, the world looks different. The trees are glowing. The air feels heavy. Zack looks up. The sky isn't right. There are two suns burning in the clouds. This isn't his home. This isn't the camp. Where in the world did he end up? The system isn't joking. Earth was too small, too weak to survive. So it's being merged. Zack is losing it. He's clutching his head, praying this is a dream. A very bad dream. But the weight of the axe in his hand is real. He didn't walk this far. The world just changed. He pushes through the brush. Every sound is a threat. Every shadow is wrong. Is the camp even there? Then, he sees it. Through the thick trees. A familiar white shape. The trailer. He wasn't imagining things. He's back at the site. But if Earth is merging, who else is out there? Zack sees the smoke. The fire is going. He thinks he's home. He thinks they're safe. He calls out to them. Hey guys, I'm back. Something happened to me. Something crazy. But nobody answers. The camp is a mess. Chairs are knocked over. Supplies are trashed. Then he hears it. A heavy, wet crunch. It's coming from behind the trailer. What the hell is that? It's huge. It's dark. And it's eating. The thing turns around. Red eyes. Rows of jagged teeth. This isn't a dream. The merger is here. And the neighbors are hungry. The beast lunges. It's a blur of purple and jagged teeth. There's no time to think. Zack grips the handle. He plants his feet. He doesn't just swing. He explodes. The blade bites deep. It tears through muscle like it's nothing. Blood sprays the brass. The monster is gone. Sand flying back by a single hit. It hits the dirt hard. Zack stands there. He's barely breathing hard. This is impossible. How is he this strong? What did that system do to him? The screen, the monster, the dice roll. It's all flashing back. Zack grips his shoulder. The blood is warm. The pain is sharp. This wasn't a dream. It's all real. The world he knew is officially gone. And he's not alone. Guys, are you here? He's shouting for help. But the camp is silent. Just the wind and trees. Where is everyone? He's scanning the clearing. Nothing but empty chairs and trashed supplies. Then the ground shakes. A heavy stomp. The beast is back. And it's not leaving without a meal. Zack needs to move. He needs to leave. Now. But the beast is fast. Way faster than it looks. It's a purple blur, tearing up the dirt. It slams into the ground. A massive shockwave. It's like a freight train, with no brakes. Zack ducks behind cover. He's watching. He's waiting. Then he sees it. It's fast in a line, but it can't turn. Once it builds speed, it's stuck on one path. That's the opening. That's the only chance. Zack grips his axe. He's done running. This had better work, or he's dead. Zack starts shouting. Come on, over here. He's making himself the only target. The beast takes the bait. It lets out a roar that rattles the trailer. It's pure, raw hunger. This way, Zack isn't just running. He's leading it, drawing it into the trees. The ground is thundering. Do down, do down. The monster is a blur of purple and rage. It's closing the gap, but Zack is banking on that one weakness. It's a high-speed gamble. One wrong step, and he's crushed. But he's not stopping. The beast is coming. Do down, do down. The ground is screaming under its weight. Zack is at his limit. His breath is heavy. His arm is soaked in his own blood. Come on. He's standing his ground. No more running. Just him and the woods. The vibrations get louder. Doo-doo, doo-doo. It's right on top of him. Zack looks at his hand. It's shaking. Am I afraid of dying? He grips the handle. The wood groans. No, this isn't fear. It's rage. The energy surges. The shaking stops. He's not the prey anymore. Zack is done waiting. Come on then. Kill me. He's screaming at death. The beast answers. A roar that rips through the forest. It lunges. It's a wall of muscle and purple lightning. One hit is over. But Zack doesn't move. Not until the last possible second. Dodge. He leans back. The claws miss his throat by an inch. The beast can't stop. Its own weight is its enemy now. Slam. It hits the dirt like a falling star. The ground shatters. It's thrashing, trying to find its feet. The hunter just became the biggest target. The beast is thrashing. It's trying to recover. But Zack is already closing the distance. Shin. The blade is out. He's not dodging anymore. Shook. He drives it deep, right into a spine. The sound of bone snapping fills the air. Crack. The monster's armor is finally failing. Compared to the odds I've already faced. Slash. Slash. He's a whirlwind of steel and blood. The beast's roar turns into a scream. You're nothing. He's not just fighting. He's tearing it apart. The hunt is over. This isn't a fight. It's an execution. Zack has lost himself in the rhythm of the kill. Swish. Slice. The axe is a blur. Blue light cutting through red spray. He's not just winning. He's erasing the beast, piece by piece. The forest is painted in its blood. One last swing. The monster's roar is finally silenced. 加100 Nexus coins. The system confirms it. The nightmare is over. But look at his eyes. Is there anything human left in there? The adrenaline is gone. Now there's only the silence and the weight of the kill. Zack is barely holding on. Step. He leaves a red map on every tree he touches. The forest is stained. Drip. Drip. He's losing too much, but he won't stop. Hanum now. Her name is a whisper. The only thing keeping his legs moving. Thunk. He hits the side of the trailer. Is anyone here? His hand is a mess of red and bone as he reaches for the door. We need to go. He's made it back, but he's running on nothing but willpower. Will anyone answer? He reached the door, but his body is finally finished. The trail of blood ends right here. Zack collapses. The world is fading. The pain is going numb. Home. It's the only thought left in his head. A dream of a place that feels worlds away. The sun rises over a new horizon. But look at the scale. One tiny clearing. One broken man. Lost in a forest that never ends. He survived the beast. But can he survive this island? Zack is finally awake. But he looks like he's been through hell. Everything hurts. His head is pounding. And he's covered in blood. He needs to know how long he's been out. What time is it? He checks his phone. Wait, this can't be right. He's been unconscious for 3 whole days. In a place this dangerous, 3 days is an eternity. He's lucky to be alive. The camp is empty. Hannah and the others are just gone. 3 days have passed, and not a single sign. But look at this. All their gear is here. They didn't pack up. They didn't leave. If they aren't back yet, they probably aren't coming back at all. Zack tries to focus. He's patching himself up, but something is wrong. How is he moving? His body is already healed. It makes no sense. By all accounts, he should be dead, but he's standing here. He's completely alone. No friends, no phone service. Just him and whatever is waiting in those woods. The phone is dead. The car is useless. He's officially stranded. But that's not the biggest problem. Look at that thing. That's no animal. It's a monster. Is this an invasion? If the forest is this bad, what about the world? Zack thinks of home. He sees his dad. He sees little Kenzie. Are they even safe? Are they even alive? He can't stay here. He has to move. He has to survive. He's going home. Zack is done hiding. He needs to see what he's up against. He grabs a branch and starts climbing. He needs the high ground. He reaches the top and finally looks out, but his heart sinks. If there's even a home to return to, it's an ocean. A massive, endless ocean. He's stuck on an island. The world he knew is completely gone. Everything has changed. Damn it. What have you done to my world? You goddamn system. Zack screams at the sky, and the sky answers. A blue screen appears. What the hell is this? It's a list of titles. Born for Carnage, Ultimate Reaper. He was the first to kill a monster, the first to solo an entire incursion. Is this me? He looks at the data. Name, Zachary Atwood. Level 16. It's like the world turned into a video game. The stats, the levels, it's all right there. He's already level 16. That lucky dice roll must have changed everything. Most of his power comes from those titles, but it doesn't stop there. There are even quests. Kill the 4 heralds, protect the outpost. The rules of reality just got rewritten, and Zack is the lead player. That red beam piercing the sky, that's the incursion, the source of all this chaos. But Zack has a choice. The system is offering him an outpost, some kind of base. He looks down at his lonely RV. A campfire isn't enough. In a forest full of monsters, he needs a home. Fine, yes, make the outpost. A blue light flashes in the trees. It's actually happening. But he isn't alone anymore. What are you doing? A voice calls out. Zack spins around. His axe is ready. It's a floating eye, purple, glowing, and it's watching him. Zack stares at the creature. You're not human. The floating eye doesn't even flinch, and you are. Looks like we're both disappointed. It talks, it has a personality, and it's mocking him. Zack takes a step back. He stumbles on the wood. His focus is gone. That was his first mistake. Something massive moves in the shadows. A giant, scaled tail snatches him mid-air. He's pinned. The grip is like iron. I let my guard down for 1 second, and now I'm the prey. The system says this is a game, but the crushing weight feels very real. I can't afford to drop my guard, not for a second. If I want to get stronger, I have to take risks. Zack lets go. He stops fighting the coils. He reaches out and grabs the beast by its throat. I refuse to die here. He slams the head into the solid wood. The tree shatters. The skull cracks. He isn't just surviving. He's hunting. The system doesn't reward the weak. It rewards the hunters, the killers. Zack slams the beast into the trunk again and again. Wood shatters. The forest shakes. In this new world, power is everything. Nothing else matters. If I want to see tomorrow, I have to become the strongest thing in these woods. He isn't just escaping a trap. He's claiming his place at the top of the food chain. Abby watches the leaves. She thinks it's over. Oh well, he never really stood a chance. Starting in a place like this, without an outpost, it's suicide. She's seen countless races across the multiverse. Humans, they've always been notoriously average. Was he really trying to build a treehouse? That's the stupidest. Wait, a rhythmic sound cuts through the air. Hack, hack. Abby stops mid-air. Huh. A massive blade swings through the frame. It's covered in blood. The average human just stopped being the prey. The hacking stops. The forest goes quiet. Zack stands in the middle of a slaughterhouse. The giant serpent is in pieces. Abby hovers closer. She's seeing something she didn't expect. I see. Maybe I was wrong about you. You actually have some merit after all. Zack doesn't say a word. He just catches his breath among the remains. The floating eye changes its tone. My name is Vefabarak, but you can call me Abby. I'm here to help you with your outpost. The trial is over. The real work is just beginning. Zack finally speaks. My name is Zack, and how are you? Talking without a mouth. Abby isn't impressed. She calls him a rube, another idiot who skipped the tutorial. She's his assistant, assigned to help him build this outpost. But Zack is confused. What tutorial? What pixies? The system just dropped me here 3 days ago. Abby stops cold. 3 days? That's impossible. This world was initiated months ago. You've been alone this whole time. Zack just nods. No, days. Abby's eye shifts. The math doesn't add up. Unless, oh wow, I've been assigned to a Defier. Zack has no idea what that means. But for Abby, this is the best luck she's ever had. The rules of the game just changed. Abby explains the truth. Earth was just integrated into the multiverse. A billion-year-old system just swallowed his world. Most people were lucky. They were sent to tutorial towns, safe zones, places to learn how to survive. A man asks if his family is safe. The system says yes, for now. But there's a catch. Some people are born with a deficiency. They can't absorb cosmic energy. They can't cultivate to the system. These people are already dead, without power. A mortal stands 0 chance. They get hunted. They get slaughtered. They die sooner or later. Zack listens quietly. So what about the Defiers? Abby looks at him. That's the thing. Defiers aren't just supposed to be weak. They aren't supposed to exist at all. Zack looks at his hands. Am I destined to die too? Abby doesn't hesitate. Maybe, maybe not. A Defier is someone the system abandoned. It leaves you to die because you're weak. But you didn't die. You fought back. You defied fate. That defiance is its own kind of power. But Zack's case is different. Even for a Defier, this is extreme. Abby calls it a fantastic opportunity. Zack isn't buying it. A dice roll almost killed me. You call that an opportunity? Abby doesn't care what Zack thinks. I don't call it that. The system does. And in this multiverse, the system's voice is the only one that actually matters. The game is rigged, but Zack is still on the board. Abby has one final warning. The system hates cowards. If you fail, or if you quit, you will be punished. A cosmic fist hands over him. The message is clear. Zack realizes the truth. I have to kill all these demons. I don't even get a choice. Abby just floats there. You're at the forefront. The system is watching your every move. Don't disappoint it. Then she drops the real bombshell. You have 3 months for these quests, but you should really finish them in one. That would. Before she can finish, the world turns purple. The pressure is on, and the clock is already ticking. Just like that, Abby is gone. The system didn't even give her a chance to finish. Zack stands alone in the silence. His only guide just got recalled. A notification pops up. Outpost administrator returned early. No more questions, no more help. Zack repeats the words. 1 month. He has 30 days to do the impossible. But while Zack is struggling in the dirt, someone else is enjoying the view. High above the chaos, the demons are having a party. August watches the crowd with a glass of wine. He looks bored. He looks ready. Zack is coming for him, but August is already waiting. Aaliyah notices the mood. You don't look happy, dear August. She tells him to smile. Today is for celebration. August isn't feeling it. For what? Aaliyah reveals the news. Your grandfather, Okro, just named you Incursion General. In their world, this is the ultimate prize, an honor others would kill to obtain. But August sees the hidden cost. Aaliyah warns him to start preparing. No more wasting time at the brothels. It's time to fight. August just scoffs. Fight? He looks at her with total boredom. I thought you knew me better than that. I'm not going to fight them. That's their game, not mine. August doesn't play fair. He plays to win. August has a theory. Let a fool believe they're in control. Across the room, a man takes a sip. Everything seems fine. Until it isn't. 1 second he's drinking. The next, he's choking on his own wine. He hits the floor with a heavy crash. The party stops cold. Aaliyah screams for help. Which one of you did this? She's looking for an assassin in the crowd, but the real threat is standing right above her. August doesn't even flinch. He just watches the life drain away. He finishes his thought. They'll strangle themselves with the very strings they think they pull. The game just started, and August is the only one who knows the rules. The forest looks peaceful, but a monster is lurking. Arcus stops for a drink. Everything seems quiet. Even the local wildlife isn't afraid of him. A butterfly lands right on his nose. The beast is distracted. Then his ear twitches. The silence is broken. Something is behind him. He turns to fight, but he's too late. Zack is already there. The hunt is on. 1 strike ended it. The monster is down. The system rewards the kill. A new title earned. Zack is a demon slayer. He finally leveled up, but this world is brutal. Gaining power takes everything. He sits by the river to check the spoils. 32 free stat points. That's a massive boost. Should he save them? Wait for more information. No, being naive gets you killed. The last fight proved that. He needs an edge now. He has to stay ahead. The points are going in. The real game starts here. Zack isn't playing safe. He dumps every point. Strength, dexterity, vitality. Nothing is held back. Planning for the future is a luxury here, because in this game there might not be a later. He looks up. The sky is changing. Red beams are falling. The clock is ticking. 25 days left. Is what Abby said actually possible? She told him to finish everything fast. 1 month, not 3. The system punished her just for the warning. That means the stakes are higher than imagined. Is there a reward, or is something coming to end the game? He has to move. The deadline is everything. 1 month, that's all the time Zack has left. After that, his life gets a lot harder. He has an edge, while everyone else is stuck in the tutorial. He's out here, facing the real world. He can't waste it. A quick dream to clear his head, then it's back to the grind. He takes his prize from the fallen beast. No time for rest, no time for mercy. The hunt continues. Time to get back to work. Zack is a world first. First to kill a monster. First to take down a general. He's slaying enemies 50 levels above him. The titles prove it. He's at the top, but something is wrong. When he built his outpost, the system stayed silent. No world first reward, no special title. That means one thing. He isn't alone. Others beat him to it. There are people out there who skipped the tutorial, people who are moving faster than he is. If a simple snake can evolve this quickly, what are the others doing? The real competition just arrived. There's no telling how strong others might already be. Zack needs an edge. He opens the shop. There has to be something in here, something to make him stronger, or something to help find his family. But everything has a steep price. Nexus coins, the currency of this new world. He's been stacking them with every kill. 100 per dog, more for the snake. But is it enough? He swipes through the list until he sees it, a teleporter. His heart stops. Could this bring his family to him? Or better yet, could it take him back to them? Zack just wants to go back home, back to civilization. But the system has a price for that. 10 million coins. That's a lot of dead demon dogs. Too many to count. Grinding kills won't be enough. He needs a shortcut. He checks his quests. High risk, high reward. This is his only way to keep up. But he can't just hoard his coins. Saving for the future is useless if he dies today. He needs power now. He checks his balance. There are only two things he can afford. The first one, a new skill. Zack drops 3,000 on a new skill. The Eye of Discernment. It's a cheat sheet for every monster. Information is power, but the system doesn't give it for free. It burns. The data floods in like a physical blow. But now, he sees everything. Next is the Ray, a complicated name for a simple result. It sucks in energy from the air. He's gaining strength every single second, even while he sleeps. He isn't a master. He isn't a cultivator. But he's a thief, and he's stealing all their best tricks. The waiting is over. He's done sitting around. It's time to see what these toys can actually do. He's going hunting. In the beginning, Zack relied on luck. If he could sneak up on a dog, it was over fast. They went down easy, almost too easy, but luck always runs out eventually. When he couldn't get the drop, things got ugly, fast. He wasn't the hunter. He was the prey, fighting just to keep his head. But every near death was a lesson. He learned to read the forest floor, fresh tracks, new dangers. With every encounter, he grew sharper. He stopped swinging like a panicked man. He learned the truth. It's not about having the weapon. It's about knowing how to use it. He learned to block. No more lucky dodges. Every strike is calculated. He puts his new skill to work, the Eye of Discernment. Now his enemies have a name. Barghests, demons from the void. Knowing what they are makes killing them easier. He's playing it smart. He hides supply caches all over the island. Food, water, weapons. If he gets cut off from his main camp, he won't starve. He hunted, he fought, he bled. Day after day, kill after kill. Dozens turn into hundreds. Zack isn't just surviving. He's clearing the map. The levels are coming slower and slower now. The grind is real. But Zack's power, it's exploding. The Barghests used to be his nightmares. Now, they're just fodder. He isn't hiding anymore. He's the one doing the hunting. Level 23. His stats are climbing. Strength, dexterity, luck. He's becoming a monster in his own right. But he's out of time. Less than 5 days until the month ends. He needs to move. He needs to pick up the pace. Meanwhile, in a place far from the blood and the dirt, Rydell enters the room. The silver-haired warrior doesn't look happy. He's looking for Ogress. The demon is exactly where you'd expect. Feet up on the desk, drink in his hand. Not a tear. In the world, the game is changing, and the players are finally meeting. Ogress wants an update on the war prep. Rydell isn't having it. The answers are all in the reports. If Ogress actually read, but Ogress is lazy. He calls it delegating. He tells Rydell to take a seat, to stop being stiff. Rydell stays standing. He can smell the wine from here. He asks the boss if he's drunk. Ogress doesn't even deny it. Why wouldn't he be? The real fight is still weeks away. Rydell sees his opening. He slides a document across the desk. Sign this and get back to your bottle. Ogress doesn't hesitate. He signs it away. Just like that, his cousin Kevin is the new master of scouts. Ogress thinks he's just delegating, but he might have just signed his own death warrant. Rydell plays the part, the loyal soldier. He takes the orders and heads out. Ogress keeps up the act, the drunk, lazy general. He even throws in a fake hiccup. He knows exactly what he's doing. But the second the door shuts, the mask falls off. He isn't just drinking. He's counting the days, a few more weeks, and he's leaving this den of monsters behind. Back in the mud, Zack is on the move. He's hunting again. He stays low. He stays quiet. He checks the breeze. He's still downwind. The Barghest is close. It's sniffing the air, searching for a scent that isn't there. Zack is a ghost, and the ghost is ready to strike. Zack has his axe ready. The perfect opening. It hasn't noticed him yet, or so he thinks. In a heartbeat, the world flips. The monster is a blur, faster than any human. A lunge, a snap of the jaws. Zack barely clears the teeth. How did it know? He was downwind. He was silent, but he's the one bleeding in the dirt now. The beast doesn't finish him. It's busy with a kill, tearing through bone and meat, but it's still sniffing. It knows he's close, and Zack just realized he isn't the hunter anymore. The ambush didn't just fail, it triggered a nightmare. The beast is charging, a wall of fur and teeth. Zack isn't fighting back, he's sprinting for his life. What the hell is that? It's not a normal monster. Maybe it's a herald. It's massive, twice the size of anything he's faced. The claws alone, they're as big as his arm. One swipe would be over. Is this the target? Is he really supposed to kill this thing right now? He'll be lucky just to outrun it. Zack pulls back. He needs his campsite. He needs a plan. Brute force isn't enough to kill that thing. But the forest has a surprise waiting. A fire in the dark. Zack stays in the shadows. He watches. He listens. That small winged creature. It's not just making noise. It's speaking a real language. This changes everything. It's not a mindless beast. It's intelligent. Was it sent for him? Is it a scout looking for his outpost? Zack doesn't move. He doesn't strike. Not yet. This creature has answers, and Zack is going to get them. One look was all it took to blow his cover. Zack activates his scan. He gets the names. An imp, a Gwilgi, both from the same clan. But the moment the data appears, the imp screams. It sensed the ability. It felt Zack watching. He didn't think they were this sensitive. But there's no time to second guess now. The little one is charging up, a surge of purple energy, pure, raw power. It's coming right for his head. The quiet observation just became a war. This thing is fast. It's charging up energy before he can even move. It sensed my ability. Zack didn't expect this. The hunter just became the one being hunted. He swings with everything, but the timing is off. The collision is massive. Everything is turning purple. The force is overwhelming. He's barely holding on. If this is just the start, how does he survive the rest? It barely grazed him, but the damage is done. Zack can feel it. The beast is on him. Arcus doesn't give him any room to breathe. It's pure, raw power. He's pinned to the dirt. Those jaws are inches from ending it all. Get the hell off me. Zack forces it back. He finally gets some space, but something is wrong. What is this fire? His hand is burning purple. It barely even touched him. If a grace does this, what happens if it lands? The pain is different. It feels like it burned my soul. Zack is hurting bad. Now the backup arrives. A cackling little demon and a massive beast. They've got him cornered. 2 against 1. And his hatchet is nothing but scrap metal. The odds are impossible. But Zack isn't running. If I can't win this, I don't deserve to be alive right now. He makes his move. He's not waiting to be the prey anymore. He's going for the small one first. Can he end this before the wolf strikes? He's dodging the fire. But the real threat is already in the air. Arcus is closing in. Zack doesn't back away. He catches the beast right out of the sky. It's a test of strength. He's not just holding it. He's tearing into it, step after step. Zack has lost his cool. Real. He puts everything into this one final move. He slams the monster straight into the dirt. The ground is cracking. He's winning the brawl. But can he finish it before the fire returns? Zack is throwing heat. He's trading his axe for raw power. One pound after another. Crunch. He catches the beast right on the chin. Arcus is finally done. But he forgot one thing. He wasn't alone. That cackling little demon has been waiting. Boom. A massive wave of purple fire hits him. Zack didn't see it coming. Awful. The energy is tearing through his defenses. It's too much. His body gives out. Everything is going dark. I guess, is this where it ends? Zack is falling, and he isn't waking up. The fire is winning. Zack is fading out. He's starting to think it was all a fluke. That was just luck. He's looking back at where he started. Just a guy with a small blade. But the universe isn't done with him yet. Wake. Something new is waking up. A red streak of power cuts through the purple. Whoosh. It's not just mana. It's not just luck. Cosmic energy. The building block of the entire multiverse. Zack just tapped into the source of everything. The real fight starts now. It wasn't a gift. It wasn't an accident. Ever since the system arrived, ever since his first kill, this power was always there, deep inside him, waiting. The gathering array showed him how to feel it. The skills showed him how to pull the trigger. But the rest, that was all on him. It was up to Zack to learn to control it, to master the building blocks of the entire universe. He's not just a survivor. He's becoming something else, and the world is about to feel it. The ambush is over. Zack isn't just taking hits, he's taking control. Grab. He catches the energy with his bare hands. He's got a message for whoever is watching. You shouldn't have broken my axe. The little demon is panicking. It's screaming, throwing everything it has. A ring of purple fire. But Zack isn't moving. Crunch. He takes a step forward. Swing. He turns that red energy into a lethal whip. He's not just fighting back. He's ending this. One strike. Total destruction. The hunter just became the prey. Zack isn't just swinging. He's unleashing a monster. That red energy whip. It just grew claws. Burn. The power is absolute. The little demon doesn't even have time to scream. Boom. Everything goes white. The forest, the fire, the nightmare. It's all erased in one final blast. Then silence. Day 30. The final day of the first month. The chaos is gone. The woods are quiet. Zack made it through the first round. But in this world, peace never lasts. The real test is only just beginning. The dust is settling. Those black scales falling. That's all that's left of the nightmare. Splash. The water is full of the fallen. The red beast, the grey demon. They're just floating debris now. Zack's done the math. That should do it. He wanted more time. Hitting level 25 and getting a class would have been the smart move. But Abby was right. The clock is ticking. The quests have to be finished this month. He's not at his peak. He's not fully ready. But there's no reason to slow down now. The first month is over. And Zack is just getting started. Zack knows how this works. The system rewards risk. And he's a high-stakes gambler. He's not stopping at one. It's time to hunt a second herald. If the world is breaking, he's going to be the one holding the pieces. But he's not the only one making moves. Deep in the shadows, the real players are waiting. Algras has been watching. It's been a busy month. Too busy for some. Rydell knows the truth. This isn't the end. It's just the warm-up. The portal is almost ready. Once it finishes forming, they'll be cut off. No backup, no retreat, just them and this world. That's when the real work finally begins. Look at the sky. That's not a storm. It's a tear in reality. Thousands are marching, an endless sea of armor, heading straight for the rift. Rydell calls this exciting. To her, this isn't war. It's a masterpiece. Under a blood-red moon, their fortress stands ready. The demons aren't just visiting. They've moved in. This isn't a scouting party. It's a professional army. And they're bringing their heaviest hitters. The man out front, he's not here to talk. He's been waiting for a real fight. And he's tired of waiting. The first month was easy. But the real war, it just arrived.